Question number 18. What drawback does the writer mention in the fourth paragraph? This is a detail or factual question. For such kind of question, step 1, read and understand the question. What drawback? Focus on the word drawback, which requires you to extract specific information from the paragraph, that is, a problem or challenge, which will be your answer. This is fourth paragraph. Let's have a look into it. So step 2, identify the key ideas in the paragraph. As promising as this result was, researchers will probably need to stimulate hundreds or thousands of nerve fibers to create complex sensation, and they will need to keep the devices working for many years if they are to minimize the number of surgeries required to replace them as they wear out. Okay, so this introduces a problem, even though progress has been made, as promising as this result was. So this says about the progress has been made, but researchers still face the challenge of needing to stimulate hundreds or thousands of nerve fibers in order to create complex sensations. Okay, they will need to keep the devices working for many years. This is another challenge, need to keep the devices working for many years. So another concern is making the device last for many years. Why? To reduce the need of or to minimize the number of surgeries required. So this is another challenge. So the first few lines introduces the challenge or concern. Next line, to get around this, which means it gives solution, right? This line introduces a solution. Some researchers are instead trying to give patients sensory feedback by touching their skin. So the solution here, the researchers use skin sensation instead of directly stimulating nerve fibers. So this is an alternative way to address the challenge. So this is a solution. Okay. Next line. The technique was discovered by accident by researcher Todd Cookian. Okay. So this is some additional information, we can say, or more of an informational detail. The idea was to, so the idea here, they are talking about the technique. The idea was to rewire arm nerves that used to serve the hand, for example, to muscles in other parts of the body. Okay, here it is giving an explanation how the technique actually works. So it's an idea of the arm nerves are rewired into other muscles, helping to, why we actually need this. It reduces the need of stimulating many nerve fibers for the prosthetics. Next, when the patient thought about closing his or her hand, the newly targeted muscle would contract and generate an electric signal driving movement of the prosthetic. This breeds the idea that when a patient thinks about closing their hand, the rewired muscles actually contracts, and that sends a signal to move the prosthetic. So this actually helps or improves the control. So the first line states about the challenge, next line gives the solution, and next few lines gives an information about how the technique works. Okay, now we analyze the paragraph. Step 3, try to scan and eliminate the options what you have. Before moving on to this step, just observe the phrases that highlight the important information or how the author expresses the ideas or shift in the ideas. Okay, when you have like as promising as this result was, this phrase highlights the result or evaluation of the research. The next word, researchers will probably need, it introduces the challenge or difficulty. To get around this, it gives you a signal of proposed solution to the problem. Minimize the number of surgeries, this gives actually your answer, because we are talking something about the drawback, the challenge what they face, right? So these phrases gets you to the answer. Now we will try to scan and eliminate the answers. So we are mainly focusing on drawback. So here I could see like high failure rate, too many operations, simple sensations, hasn't been rigorous enough. So my words or key ideas what I'm concentrating in, because this is related to drawback. Option A, high failure rate. The devices have a high failure rate. Talks about device failure. There is a need for a long-term functionality, as they state, like work for many years, but not about devices failing often. So this option we are eliminating. Patients might have to undergo too many operations. Option B, the author is concerned with the need to minimize the number of surgeries, because they said like if they are to minimize the number of surgeries, which indicates the challenge or drawback of needing multiple surgery if the devices don't loss long enough, because they said like working for many years. So this option is actually right. Option C, it would only be possible to create rather simple sensation. Simple sensation talks about creating simple sensation. The paragraph is not concerned with simplicity or complexity. So here, the word like simple sensation is actually wrong. The research into the new technique hasn't been rigorous enough. It talks about the rigor of research, okay, but the paragraph focused on the practical issue of keeping the devices working for many years, but they never stated it is rigorous. So this is wrong. So we are checking the option, and option B aligns with the key idea of the paragraph. Hence, we are moving on with option B. So for such kind of question, as I told, read and understand the question first. Step 2, identify the key ideas in the paragraph. Step 3, scan and eliminate the option. Hope you understood. Thank you.